All right, so for this video, I really wanted to share about sharing toys. I know that we have very little toys, and I had the question like, how do you make sure that the baby and your daughter share toys? And my daughter is 3 and my son is 1, and yes, the answer is they do. They share everything that they have in their room is basically both of theirs. There are very few things, very little things that my daughter has that are only hers. Okay, so the main tip and advice that I would give you is actually I read this book that it has really helped me a lot with both my relationship with my son and my daughter as far as their sibling relationship, and the name of the book is Siblings Without Rivalry. Most of the things that I am going to talk about today, they actually come from that book, and they have helped me immensely. I recommend it 100%. Like, read it. It really opened my eyes as far as like sibling relationships and how to handle that as a parent. It's a great book. It's an easy read. I actually read the audiobook version, which is great. So before I start, I recommend that 100%. I don't claim to be a parenting expert or anything of the sort. These are just things that have worked in our family and that I wanted to share with you guys because maybe it can help you too. So the first thing that we started doing and implementing with our daughter is that we started changing her language. Sorry, this weather is super cloudy and the sun comes out and then it gets really bright and then really dark, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, changing her language. So the first thing that we started doing is that she started saying mine, this is mine, 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 and everything was mine. And so we really, what I started doing is that I started saying is not mine, is I'm playing with this right now. You have to explain to the baby that I'm playing with this right now. Obviously, I know that the baby doesn't understand, but I want her to understand that this is not her property. This is both of theirs. The baby can play with this too, but she's playing with that now. So then comes the second thing that I tell her, and it's what else can the baby play with? Can you find something else to give the baby so that he can play with it? And so instead of telling her like, no, you have to give that to the baby or share with the baby, or, instead of doing that, because she is playing with something right now and she doesn't want to have to give it away, she can go ahead and find something else so that the baby can play with. And this has worked for us immensely. Like, I don't even have to tell my daughter now anymore. When she's playing with something and she sees that the baby starts getting like trying to take it away from her, she goes and finds something else and goes to the baby like, look, buddy, look, here you go. You can play with this, play with that, because I'm playing with this right now. And it has been really great. Like I've noticed that she's understood the fact that she can play with something and she's playing with it and she doesn't have to give it away, but she does have to find something else that the baby can play with. So then that comes with the second thing that we do, and that is that I teach my daughter, okay, well, if you don't want the baby to touch that right now or take it away, then you need to play in a higher surface, anywhere where the baby can't reach. So if that's on top of your bed, or that's on the dining room table, or anywhere where the baby can't really interfere with what you're doing, this is usually when she's building towers with blocks. So. Or coloring, or anything that that she doesn't want the baby to destroy or to take away from her. So it's always okay, well then find another place where you can play with this, find somewhere else that the baby can't interfere with your play, and that usually just resolves the situation, and she plays with it as long as she wants, and then when we're done we put it back and the baby can play freely around her, and it has worked amazing. The next thing that we try to do is that I try to teach my daughter, instead of share or give that to the baby all the time, it's I start asking her, well, what's a way that we can play together? Let's find a way to play together. And that's actually something that I got from Daniel Tiger's episode, but I thought it was so smart. I was like, well, okay, well, if you don't really want to share with him, then how can you guys play together? And that usually involves some type of taking turns. Let's take a turn. You take a turn, then the baby takes a turn, or just any way that she can find a way to play with the baby. That's what we go with. And usually it works. She finds ways that are like, oh well, I can do this, or he can play with that, or just find any solution that they can play with, and this usually helps. And those are the things that I feel like I have implemented the most to help my daughter understand how to play together with her brother, to not always have to say like, oh, share that, give that to the baby, because I feel like we put a lot of pressure on the older child to always have to give, and obviously the baby doesn't usually have to give. So so that helps like them understand that like you don't always have to give. You can actually tell them that you're playing with something and they have to learn how to play with something else. And yeah, this are these things that I really wanted to share with you guys. Obviously, as the baby starts getting older, there will be different things, different problems, different issues to resolve. But for now, for the ages that they have, which is 3 and 1, it has worked amazing. It really has worked great for mainly for my daughter, and also for my son to be to know that there are things that sometimes he can't play with because somebody else is playing with. And I have seen how whenever we go out to the library, or wherever there's a lot of kids and there's some sort of toys, he's usually really good about kids like just moving things away from him, and he doesn't try to take them away. So I've seen a positive effect with both my daughter and my son, as little as he is. So I would love to hear your thoughts, maybe any tips that you have that have worked for your family. Make sure you leave those in the comments below. Like, let's keep this conversation going. Let's help out maybe another parent who's going through something else. I obviously I love to do another video about this as they grow older and they move on to a different set of sharing issues. But for now, this has really been helpful for us. And yeah, thanks. Thank you guys so much for watching.